dirty Babylon, go down dirty Babylon, up dirty Babylon, go down dirty Babylon, bring up every prisoner, go down dirty Babylon, free up every jailer. Out the road say jail for me, but the judge say bail for me. Somebody tell the jury, Jah control me destiny. Babylon say jail for me, but the judge say bail for me. Somebody tell the jury, Jah control me destiny. Long hair black, me hold me straight. Next court date, me depend 2 months remand. 30 years me a face. And the police boy know when I'm out of the court time me my ways. Cause I know him have nothing to present the judge. I be a art and craft. Him a go feel like the biggest bumbo hole when we buzz it have and laugh. Babylon say jail for me, but the judge say bail for me. Somebody tell the jury, Jah control me destiny. But the judge say bail for me, Babylon say jail for me. Somebody tell the jury, Jah control me destiny. Yo.
We end. And from say we end, that means that we win. From say we win, that means that we end. From your end, you win. From your win, you end. So you get a new girl, you end. You get a new work, you end. From you make a new link, you end. From your end, you win. From your win, you end. Yeah man, and the new talk and the new thing, we end. Now let's begin. But handcuff is not the thing to be in. Every day a new review for you. Every day a new review for you. So with me, Pastor, excellence is guaranteed for sure. Every day a new review for you. Every day a new review for you. So with me, Pastor, excellence is guaranteed for sure. Best in news and reviews, remember that. With a billion number people, life get kind of the place number people. With the hottest review we about to see. The one you have the hottest news you ever get for 2023. Nothing better. So no better put on the hottest video for 2024. I'm gonna talk about all of them. Motorcade, bag of them, motorcade.
Motorcade. A 4-way flashing on the speed. A rifle will live as the alien. VVS diamond, I'm a chain. Now your girl says she's stressed, she have up on her brain.
Police say them a carry Vershon, you know. See, Vershon will be artist, a big artist still, you know. Vershon, we're peaceful and is of no threat to the public or no one, you know. Guess why them a race with him,
Motorcade. A 4-way flashing on the speed.
Police, bus, trucker, police, yo, all type of squad vehicle. You see me? All type of squad vehicle and then a plain cool was police. I may have a drama for drop on the driver, because I know him personally. Father God just so happen me personally know the driver who is a police that you're seeing driving Vershon on a race like it's a race course, right? With umpteen of them vehicle and squad car a race. Just for lock up this one artist, you see me? See him? And we know say, guess what? If you a speeding ticket, just for a speeding ticket. Vershon was to appear in court, I believe. He was to pay a fine or fee, whatever, for a speeding ticket he got. And look, yo, Vershon made it clear that he wasn't even going close to the speed that they're transferring him to lock up. Right? Now watch it.
In children, it's proved 75% effective. The WHO head said he hoped aid agencies would soon be able to buy the jab. 67 Inuit women from Greenland are seeking compensation from Denmark for involuntary contraception carried out in the 1960s. Records indicate 4,500 intrauterine devices were fitted into women and girls.
This was where Vershon told me that he made sure seal his lip tightly because he was very furious, but he didn't want to, add any fuel to the fire that was already burning. That's very same police there, you see, driving Vershon to lock up in the blue and white stripe polo Ganzi there. You see him, his name is Mr. Francis, right? He was kicked out the force on a long suspension before. It almost seemed like 2 years if I remember back, right? When he was suspended for that long, he came and worked with a security company where I was working, and we had worked on the same location where he tried to kill me. You understand? Kawagwan, he was transferred, he's from somewhere in St. Elizabeth, right? And I believe that he's from down there. However, he was when he was doing his police duty, he was sent to Kingston, right? I'm not sure if he's from the parish of St. Elizabeth, but I know because I know very much about him, and I know that he's well known in St. Elizabeth. But when he was a police officer before his suspension, right, where I got the opportunity and chance of knowing him, right, before his suspension, he was working in Kingston. Cause that them do, them always get the country police them come to Kingston to work, right? Because Kingston is the main, source where them want to have that capable, you know what I'm saying, lawmen who can work in the highest level of society. So yeah, so that was how Mr. Francis now made his name across the island. You understand? Because just by the earlobe, I can tell, say, and the whole shape and design of his head. Because when you know something, nobody can trick you. You understand me? Now, watch what go on. Mr. Francis was working on a location because the other security where I was working with, right, he had some other business, so he couldn't work there any longer. So it was me and Mr. Francis, you see here in the blue and white shirt, driving Vershon to jail. Watch this now. So the moment Mr. Francis came on the location as a security, he was so quick to entertain himself with the wrong set of people on the work site, on this very same location, because a lot of them are thieves and they would steal as much as they could when you're not looking as a security. You understand? He was quick to entertain them in a lot of conversation, and not very long after he just started working, I caught him and the guys trying to steal some equipment off the location, and I never knew what they were up to until I saw Mr. All of them respond made me aware of what they were up to. So it was like Mr. Francis, he got the guys respect because he was like sort of a ex-cop to them, and he had all the stories about all the known dons and bad man, that they would hear him speak of, and so he was quick to start planning to move things off the property and make money, stealing and theft and all these things. So what had happened was that one night, no, it wasn't all that late. However, I said I was going to walk over to Mr. Francis' side, because we would have our guard house and our little area differently on the location. So we were actually had to provide service because there were 80 houses, over 80 houses on the property, right? Those studio houses. So Mr. Francis was at his spot where he was stationed, and I walked over by there to see if everything all right. And what was happening caused him to take out his gun when he saw me approaching and fired a shot, because he still had his gun. Even though he was out of the force, he was still allowed to have his gun, and you know what I'm saying, he was providing armed duty there on the location. So he took his gun out and fired a shot at me. It's a fortunate thing that he is not any marksman or any good at firing a direct hit, you know what I'm saying? So, or else I'd be laying on the floor that very night. And then I asked him, what is he doing? And he was like, yo, he never recognized me, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm in my security uniform, and so he that was a poor excuse. And then the other guys he was trying to steal the things with, they were silent as night. They were silent night, holy night. All is gone, all is bright. You know what I'm saying? So, it would be like goosebumps is actually taking me now, and a few tears want to come to my eye just remembering that night. I could have died. I could have been seriously injured. You know what I'm saying? So, this is the guy we are looking at, and now he got back into the force, Mr. Francis. You see what I say? So, I'm just showing how corruption work. The other day, a police officer come out, and say, "Oh, just the individual cops are unlawful," and he was saying that the JCF is good and they teach good traits and manners, and and he was saying, oh, it's these individual cops leave the precinct and go out and do their unlawful act. But at the end of the day, JCF is unlawful because they always seem to protect the unlawful officers and in support of them. Because for one instance where they had trim and cut Enzinga ear in the station, where was the JCF to defend the matter? Where was they? Where was they? They are selective in who and what they conduct their protective services to and for, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so make we get back in.
Welcome back to News Hour. It's nearly 40 years since millions of people around the world.
It's time for Live Aid.
One of the most famous concerts of all time has been turned into a musical. Live Aid, which
You see how them a drive with the artist, Mr. Francis. You see how them a drive with the artist, and if any accident for go on, let's say a major accident supposed to go on now, injuring the suspect who is seen as a victim in my case right now, right? And these policemen are the suspect because they claim to have been arresting him now, right? Bringing him to lock up for a speeding ticket that was not paid, that was issued to him for some time now. You understand? And look out there, it's like, man, nothing will come out of it if they injure this artist right now. Nothing. He's on his own. He has to pay his own medical bill, all of that. This ain't America. This ain't America. Remember that.
I wouldn't have anything to do with that.
I hope that someone gets my message in
The songs drive the drama along. It hinges on individuals and their experience because that was Live Aid.
The plots will balance a behind-the-scenes look at how both Band Aid and Live Aid came together with a love story.
Yes, yo, I still can't believe that Mr. Francis here was seen transporting our big artist Vershon, a lockup, has been reinstated in the police force. You see me? Yo, for those who are interested to hear how God saved me from Mr. Francis when I work with him, because me did have to lock up myself in a little place, tightly, when I work with him, because he's a maniac them way there, enough innocent people, me can tell you him killing, You see me I say? Killing to him is like nothing. Maybe now, because when them get older, them realize, the dopey haunt them. So, it's like them heart get weak at them stage of life, you know what I mean? So maybe mafia cool, but me I tell you, say, how God saved me was because at one point we had a model house because we had over 80 odd houses on a property the Chinese owning and we had to secure them. You understand? So Mr. Francis responsible for a section and me responsible for a section. But that's just between me and him. It's not like we were told that we should have each section responsible for. You know what I'm saying? So we had the model house, which was the only house that was furnished with fridge, TV, all the appliances, home appliances was in there, because it's the model house that would sell the other houses, right? So what happened was that I did a patrol and I had walked and checked around all the houses that I was responsible for, and then also check the model house because I always tell myself that I'm going to check that one model house with the furnitures and fridge, all the home appliances. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning when I went and I checked the model house and I realized that it was broken into. And when I had reported to the Chinese, they started treating me like royalty. Them came up on the road with them give me them clothes for wear, shoes for wear, because them have like all these big container loaded with brand new shoes and all these things. When them ready for it, them go in them container and take out them new shirt, them new shoes, them new this, them new that. You understand? Get all Colgate from them in a Chinese writing. You get me as a on the tube itself. I don't know if y'all can relate, but you know what I say. Them start carrying on the road and give me all type of things just for reporting to them and that the model house was broken into. And this was how Mr. Francis got kicked off the location by the Chinese and our security company, because at the end of the day, even Mr. Francis got so furious at me because he had wrote in the book that he had patrolled and checked the model house 10 minutes before 4 o'clock when I had found it. And he was so angry with me now, and he has always been angry with me from the moment he had fired a shot at me when I had caught him and the guys planning to move the equipment off the property. You understand? So this police is a very dangerous police. I know him, and I was so glad that had occurred to for them to remove him from off the location where I was back in peace. You know what I mean? At peace. I was back at peace when he was gone. Because you don't know, you have to be good people and you have to always alert. Because Mr. Francis, he was so furious at me when the Chinese them were happy and that I had found that the model house was broken into, and they had investigated, cross-questioned him and interrogated.
The Band Aid Charitable Trust will receive 10% of all ticket sales. Bob Geldof hopes the musical will tour, possibly internationally, after its original 9-week run starting in January. He has not been enjoying going to early script reads and seeing someone play him.
It's bad enough being Bob Geldof. It's slightly worse to see somebody pretending to be you. The one upside for me is that he's got an amazing voice, stage Bob, so people will actually think that I sing as good as that.
Alright people, if you carefully look ahead at your screen, you will notice the police bus that is providing them escort. You understand? And there's other police patrol vehicle that is in front and ahead of the bus that you guys are not seeing, because this is a long video. I'm cutting short because you're not into much of the long video, like the 2-hour-long documentary of Harry Tyler and General B I post up at the heat of the moment when it was viral. So I had to cut this 1 hour plus long video of Vershon getting locked up and transported to jail in a way like a straight motorcade.
Motorcade. A 4-way flashing on the spin. Hey! A rifle will lift as the alien. VVS diamond on my chain. Now your girl has stress to she have me on her brain. Oh, bother on me. Oh, you know fire rifle charge. Quick shot, boy, what a easy target. Plug out the sun and darkness.
Yeah, so what you guys have just seen there is the moment where they arrested Vershon, took him out of his car, right, and leave it in the middle of the street, and began this big motorcade.
A motorcade.
All quad cars, a be a police vehicle pull up, bus truck and be a thing. But as I said, I'm not to post the whole video, so I cut it short because I want everybody to see it and know and be aware that Vershon is locked up, right? And just for a speeding ticket. And then the reason why I cut it short because one, I make the Aritadlan General B documentary 2 hours long of hard work or 2 couple days, and I just get 266 views, and that was dropped right in the heat of the whole boombox situation. So I realized the shorter the video, the more views it get, no matter the viral content it be or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just gonna do this much shorter. I'm already take up too much space to talk about Mr. Francis here, you know, so I could just run whatever we got left of this video here. Yeah, my people, so just before I play the video, I just want to make you know, say, all no, them not realize the version of him fool, you know. You see me, so if you see, use the send the smiley emoji in the chat, in the live comment section there, yeah, just through them never know say version of him phone, because it was in his pocket, the moment they uncuffed him, and then once they had uncuffed him, then that was where he had took out his phone out of his pocket and started, and went live, so it was crazy. You see me, at my place, in Washington Garden, him have a house too, you know, from him come from foreign, you know, say, I best saw him there, and him have some other house spot where him chill, but film place in Washington Garden there, you see me, beautiful community, our place, you see me.
Let me tell you about overseas. Children, it's proved 75% effective. The WHO head said he hoped aid agencies would soon be able to...
Torah, what do you know about Kingston City?
67 Inuit women from Greenland are seeking compensation from Denmark for involuntary contraception carried out in the 1960s. Records indicate 4,500 intrauterine devices were fitted into women and girls without their knowledge. Unexplained planet-sized objects have been spotted in the Orion Nebula, about 1,400 light years from Earth. Observations by the James Webb Telescope show about 40 pairs of the objects, each about the size of Jupiter. The conflict in Sudan has spread to a town in the south of the country, forcing thousands to flee. Residents of Wagashana said the paramilitary RSF had attacked the town at the midnight. Moscow says Russian and Azerbaijani forces came under sniper fire in the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh days after Armenian separatists capitulated with no casualties. A caste-based census in the Indian state of Bihar has prompted mixed reactions. The governing BJP described it as divisive, while the opposition called it historic. It revealed that members of the intermediate caste comprise more than 60% of the state. BBC News.
Welcome back to News Hour. It's nearly 40 years since millions of people around the world watched the historic charity concert Live Aid. It was the first of its kind and it raised money for famine victims in East Africa. Now, the story of Live Aid is being turned into a stage musical, and our entertainment correspondent Colin Patterson has been finding out more.
It's 12 noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and around the world it's time for Live Aid.
One of the most famous concerts of all time has been turned into a musical. Live Aid, which raised money for famine relief in Ethiopia, was watched by an estimated 1.5 billion people in 1985. Their stage version is heading to the Olympic Theatre in London. With the blessing of the original organiser, Bob Geldof.
Live Aid the musical. Why? Live Aid the musical, who'd have thought? You know, Live Aid the musical happened 40 years ago. It was on Wembley, you know. They came and said, we know you're going to say no, but we want to do it because our dads have never stopped talking about this day. We think it's theatre.
What's our art, man? I know we go to the Brendan and you keep talking, really honestly, coming out.
The musical is called Just for One Day, after the line in David Bowie's Heroes.
Are there people playing David Bowie and Bono? No, it's not a tribute thing. I wouldn't have anything to do with that.
I hope that someone gets my message enough.
The songs drive the drama along. It hinges on individuals and their experience because that was Live Aid.
The plot will balance a behind-the-scenes look at how both Band Aid and Live Aid came together with a love story inspired by real events. The Band Aid Charitable Trust will receive 10% of all ticket sales. Bob Geldof hopes the musical will tour, possibly internationally, after its original 9-week run starting in January. The one thing he has not been enjoying, going to early script reads and seeing someone play him.
It's bad enough being Bob Geldof. It's slightly worse to see somebody pretending to be you. The one upside for me is that he's got an amazing voice, stage Bob, so people will actually think that I sing as good as that.
Back on stage with a slightly new form, and that was our entertainment correspondent. Live from the BBC World Service, I'm Tim Franks. Something unprecedented and something very familiar happened in Kiev today. The unprecedented thing was that never before had European Union foreign ministers held one of their regular get-togethers beyond the borders of the EU. They came to the Ukrainian capital as a very deliberate show of support for the man hosting them, President Volodymyr Zelensky. And he was the one with the familiar message that Ukraine's future, the continent's future, depended on victory and depended on international support.
I'm confident that Ukraine and the entire free world can prevail in this confrontation. Our victory directly depends on our cooperation. The more strong and principled steps we take together, the sooner this war will end fairly, with the restoration of our territorial integrity and a reliable guarantee of peace for the whole of Europe.
The President Zelensky.
I want you carry this round the road for me, saying star. But don't tell nobody. Don't lose focus. One more thing. Watch out for the squaddy.
Saying
police them and nobody friend. How could I even metropolitan? And all the jeep with all the ratty them. Because them really are nobody. Police them and nobody. Police them and nobody.
hey, them fit it.
Security and
I'll them fit it.
take you from deep down at the valley. We beating at the body, left you bleeding at the alley. So them do it down at the valley. Now make Babylon look on your foot. As them see your shoes dog, then a boof and your coof down. Take you one them push not the bush. So them get them few marks to go put not the bush. Later on them say a cook how we should say a true name Robbie must have took smarty look. Same thing they do the last chef a cook on the book. And I say this super dog make him puke for me too. Police them on a
Hey, them fit it.
how could I even met
I'll them fit it. chop.
Security and all the rats.
And them feet get pop, pop.
Them really are nobody. Police them are nobody. Them no one with the up top. Them prefer no say with the dove cut. And them no one say we set up shop. So for whole life them to get up track. Let them know the God who developed that. I wonder where them tell them you corrupt rats. When we make them load a road a river plus stack. You don't plan down a river dance gully. Madrab. God is the modest. Don't know. Father Choice. Vibes Cartel. Vibes Cartel. Time soon tell. Time soon tell. Vibes Cartel. Vibes Cartel. Vibes Cartel for drop back a road. Siva him back a road. Cairo drop back a road. Matsusim back a road. Man them drop back a road. And them lift back a road. And them not stop. Make draws drop like in a back road. Cartel drop back a road. Siva him back a road. Cairo drop back a road. Matsusim back a road. Man them hot back a road. And them lift back a road. And them not stop. Make draws drop like in a back road. Every song drop a goal. And friggin' capture soul. All when rat pump patrol. Man them slip na patrol. From the one down abroad, the Dominions a roll across London to Tottenham to Brixton a show. We like England, God know we make millions a do. From a chili and a snow, girl them give we all a blow. From a lily and a grow up, a picking I'm a fro. At the Bantan, at the one down, at the big man. Vibes Cartel for drop back a road, Siva him back a road, Cairo drop back a road, Matsusim back a road, man them drop back a road and them lift back a road and them not stop. Make draws drop like in a back road. Cartel drop back a road, Siva him back a road, Cairo drop back a road, Matsusim back a road, man them hot back a road and them lift back a road and them not stop. Make draws drop like in Waterford. Some cry Lord help. Go to the struggle where they like barbell. Free up every prisoner they will try start sell. Cause you have to do something there to survive or else. It's rise or fell, you live your life or hell. You know fi tell the youth no listen Vibes Cartel. We love every tuggy youth we provide for ourselves. And no pick up no tool and go school like Marcel. Like Vibes Cartel for drop back a road. Siva him back a road, Cairo drop back a road, Matsusim back a road, man them drop back a road and them lift back a road and them not stop. Make draws drop like in a back road. Cartel drop back a road, Siva him back a road, Cairo drop back a road, Matsusim back a road, man them hot back a road and them lift back a road. And we not stop, I chant that till them in Waterford.
Dirty bad mind, love them. Dirty bad mind, dirty bad mind people. Dirty bad mind people. Dirty bad mind people can't tell me out. The one who try to get me out. Bible in the fucking chapter take me out. Family that love me and I'm let me out. Can you help me get shell out? One could stress me out. Then they got down. Not to let's go. Tell bad man come with them people. Oh, and they say, you want to that song because they are not that song. They say, God, where that lemonade? No, nobody. God, content, vibes started, the teacher. La 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 la, la 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 la. The one Jamaica, la 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 la. The one who's looking inside my book, my God, no champagne above. Anywhere, my name is Adi, a Mr. Hope the chief like. Once I get to me, man. We have the chicken and the chicken, we have chocolate chili. We have fire mackerel and cardamom. Get to me, man. Yo.
It's a killer ride on. I would do it to forever night long.
No, yeah.
Some fling it from the sofa, stripping off the closer. You think I can stick soda? Fling feet all pan shoulder, like me that war one soldier. And she married to Donia, she tip and stop bend over. And call her man Jehovah, and Mr. Casanova. And call down all pneumonia, and drink off Arizona. And drop down after coma, me even watch her show, sir. And start all back that over. True, she just like the cobra, she ride that like a coaster. One this a girl,
Want this a gyal ya? Want this a gyal ya?
And we do it up above my line.
Need this a gyal ya? Need this a gyal ya? Need this a gyal ya?
So me want this a gyal right on. And we do it up above my line long. So me beat it like a schooler. Me have this type of ruler. Me see she try maneuver, but I cry hallelujah when she be like Medusa. And I'm touch park, I miss 16 Kerry. Woo! Touch school, I miss 16 Terry. Woo! Touch mall, I miss 16 Jenny. But me bought this cute one somewhere in Queensberry. Hey, this girl she want me to be mister. This girl she need somebody fix her. This girl she want me in the picture. This girl she needs me in the mixture. This girl she want me for lyrics her. This girl she need me for remix her. This girl's a horny little rich girl. This girl's a greedy little bitch. Hey, bang her up on the new Mercedes. Bang her, turn her now your first lady. Bang her, show her say you'll go crazy. Bang her, always say you don't.
She bang her
like say a
tune from Tracy.
Bang her, like say she soon forsake me. Bang her, like what God do all Mary. Bang her, like what God do all Mary. Hey, this girl she want me for the mister.
This what?
This girl she need somebody fix her. This girl she want me something stiffer. This girl just need a little spritzer. This girl she want me for lyrics her. This girl she need me for remix her. This girl she want me be me Miss World. This girl she really for be it. Say she cock up on me, say she cock up on me. Say she take a 2 foot them lock up on me. And go wrap up on me, and go knot up on me. Then she make a big booty back up on me. I'ma tell her this cutie coming like a army. But me don't drink roots about na Baba Marley. And me up all day, so nobody call me. I'ma come in the room and shout to Kadamari.
Oh yeah.
This girl she want me for the mister. This girl she need somebody fix her. This girl she want me in the picture. This girl she needs me in the mixture. This girl she want me for lyrics her. This girl she need me for remix her. This girl's a horny little rich girl. This girl's a greedy little bitch. Hey, bang her up on the UMTV. Bang her up on the 2MP3. Bang her up from Uno NET. Bang her broke off the juice them deeply. Bang her up like say you get Riri. Bang her up like say you get Lishi. Bang her up like a tune take VP. Bang her
Panar, panar,
This
head.
girl she want me for the mister. This girl she need somebody fix her. This girl she want something stiffer. This girl just get a little spritzer. This girl she want me for lyrics her. This girl she needs me for remix her. This girl she want for be me Miss World. This girl
She really for me it.
Bang her, a bongo be a done no bang her.
Yeah, them thing. They are 1K. Really don't follow back. Them went up. I 1K and them know that coming. We do anything. Most of the things will fool you. Right, we'll look for composure. If we buy back as a soldier. You see? They don't know, man. Them don't know. What them know? Them don't.
What them know about Kingston City?
Yeah, Ashanti. Yeah. In a God my people trust, yet still we can be evilous. Me nah left the Kingston streets, me love. Hey, fire and rain, let me tell you about our place. In the bloody city when we born and grow, man I rise up, tall ruler gone and true. And no cool breeze our llamas blow. Let me tell you about our place. No people are drop out of frat and fool. Try no come between dog and wood. We know how we try to work hard and cool. You want me a kind of fling make people are dead. One night stabbing and squeezing a head. The toes up head them with a beat in a head. After you looking now no time to sleep in a bed. Who no believe in a free believe in a red. And the same old liar than teeth in a them. Innocent and just be keep neat in a head. For justice and peace we have it. Let me tell you about our place. In a the bloody city when we born and grew. And I rise up and full of
part of the world me go. Me now forget where me come from.
Kingston City, me nah go leave ya.
Me now forget where me come from.
Me get rich, fly out and run away.
Me now forget where me come from.
Through the good and bad time, I have me a stray.
Somebody have fi ball, somebody have fi bleed, somebody have fi lay down and can't breathe. I'm out, some boy run up, me bullet fly full speed. Somebody have fi lay down and can't breathe. Them a loose man from day one. We spray kill like beer gun spray can. Bossy M16, no me no need tea. Well, let me gun them.
New brand.
Shot faster than Western
Union.
Connect from Gaza, go cross the La Vega to Kaman Waman. Big yard Boonan. We have
They
kill them softly, like R&B. The boy them start the war on we. Get the guns in the car on we. Circle the lens on. Bust the gap with extension. Clock the K till it pop spring. Call the earth for the victim. Did it survive?
But them some not kin, we kill them softly. Like R&B, from A, from B through Z, through D, through E, through Z. Circle them friends on.
Inna the bloody city where me born and grew. Man I rise up tall, full of corn and true. And no cool breeze our llamas blow. Let me tell you about how I play. No people are drop out of brat and food. Try no come between dog and bone. We know how we try to work hard and good. You want me a kind of fling make people a dead. Only for night stabbing and squeezing a let it out.